We have breaking news. A decision has finally been made by the Supreme Court in the high school football playoffs debate. Our Shyla Florence has been following this story, and she joins us now live in the studio to tell us the latest update. Shyla.
Thanks, Phyllis. The word came in just about an hour ago after St. Mary's boarded the bus and drove an hour and a half to Herbert Hoover to play a play-in game against Tolja tonight. And after they entered the locker room, the team found out it was getting back on the bus to go home because the game was canceled. This is because the Supreme Court granted the writ of prohibition filed by the WVSSAC just an hour ago, allowing the playoff games to be played with the original seedings from the August reclassifications. The filing on the decision reads, quote, "It is beyond question that the WVSSAC had the authority to reclassify under West Virginia Code of State Rules upon our review. We find that the Circuit Court's entry of injunctive relief was not based on the WVSSAC's lack of authority to reclassify, but rather on the timing and manner of that reclassification," end quote. As of right now, a date for when the playoffs will begin has not officially been released, but it was mentioned earlier this week that if a decision was made, the playoffs had the chance to start as early as this weekend. We will announce the official playoff schedule once we receive them. Right now, all we know is that the writ of prohibition was granted by the Supreme Court and the County Circuit Court injunctions have been vacated. The WVSSAC is able to resume the football playoffs as it initially planned before. And all the teams who were in the original playoff seedings are back in again. That is all I have for now. Phyllis, back to you.
Shyla Florence reporting live in the studio. Shyla, thank you for that update.